crazy.
Moths and butterflies are in the same family of insects. I have a challenge for you to find the queen. If you can find the queen, she has a queen.
And we're back at the Beehive with Owen, who is a UCR student. His major is actually history, but this is a really well interest of him, or his, I should say. And you've been doing this for 5 years?
Yeah, I mean, it's just been a long time passion of mine.
Yeah.
UCR offers a course on beekeeping, and I took it 5 years ago. And I've just been sticking with it ever since.
So tell us about this contraption. What exactly is going on here?
So it's just a nice show hive, an observation hive that we've set up for today.
Okay.
It's 5 frames of bees at the bottom and a single frame up at the top. The top frame has a queen excluder that keeps the queen trapped up here because people love to be able to spot her.
Right.
We've got her marked with a little dot of paint, but
What do we win if we find her?
bragging rights. Only about a dozen people have been able to find her today.
Really?
Yeah.
A dozen people out of all the people that have attended today.
Yeah.
Unreal. So there's little holes up here, I'm assuming obviously for air, but you can kind of see them trying to peek out.
So yeah, I mean, they see the light and they want to get out. But ventilation is important. They can circulate the air around and regulate their temperature and humidity to a very precise degree. The brood that the queen lays up is very sensitive to shifts in temperature, so they need to monitor incredibly closely.
Wow.
It's a very sophisticated system of environmental balances.
Sure, absolutely. And just in a wood box, which is actually quite impressive. Now, under here you said that there's actually another level, and what's going on down here?
So you're going to have a lot more of what you see at the top. So there's going to be just all workers running around. They're going to be checking on brood frame that we put down there.
Wow.
There's also some frames of food that we've given them so that they don't go hungry being out here all day.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. And tell us how important bees are to society. I mean, we're kind of all, guilty, afraid of them when they land on you and you're afraid to get stung.
So yeah, I mean, my background is in history. So I mean, just from a historical perspective, bees are incredibly important. So many crops rely on bee pollination. In California, a big example of that is the almond. California produces roughly 80% of the world's almond supplies, but almonds require pollination in order to form a nut. Bees are an integral part of that. Without the bee, there wouldn't be any almonds.
Wow. And how many bees does it take to make a little bit of honey like you would see in the store?
So a single bee in its lifetime, I think, can make a few teaspoons of honey. So you're not going to be looking at a lot of honey per
not
bee.
a lot of production.
But when you have 40,000 bees per hive, you can suddenly be bringing in quite a bit more.
Wow. Interesting. And tell us more about Cyber and kind of what they do.
So we're an international group of researchers based here at UCR, but we collaborate with some of the other UCs like UC Davis and San Diego. And we're all just passionate about bee research.
Okay.
Bees in general, not just the European honeybee, but native bees as well, have been facing lots of increasing stressors as man-made climate change and pesticides come into the ecosystem.
Okay.
A lot of that is introduced by us, like I mentioned, when beekeepers send their hives up to go and pollinate almonds, they can run into all sorts of problems with pesticides and fungicides. So we're working to develop ways to boost the bees' immune system and deal with other kinds of issues that they might encounter.
Yeah, it's so complex than just what we see on the other side, picking up
yeah.
honey at the grocery store. So I love my new hat, even though it doesn't quite fit on my big head. Walk us through how this is, useful.
So not a lot of beekeepers are going to be wearing that.
Okay.
I think it's just fun to have out.
Okay.
A more typical suit that you'll see people wear
Okay, yeah, walk us through that.
is something like this.
That seems much more protective.
So this is a nice full ventilated suit. You get in there, you can zip it up so nothing can get into your legs.
Okay.
It's got Velcro at the wrist so they're not crawling up there too.
Wow.
And like I mentioned, it's ventilated because it gets really hot in Southern California and you don't want to just be wearing something like this sometimes all day and just be roasting. So this gets good airflow, but the bees can't get through to it. So
And what is this?
this is our smoker. most beekeepers work with a design pretty much exactly like this. So you can light fuel like leaves or burlap or whatever you have that's flammable at the bottom. And then it has a bellow system that pumps smoke up out of it. And then we smoke our bees when we want to get them like off of a frame or a particular area. It just makes it easier to work them.
So they don't like the smoke.
There's a conversation around exactly what the smoke does.
Okay.
Lots of people have different opinions about it. I think the best way to put it is that the smoke just helps get them out of where you don't want them to
Distracting.
be. Yeah.
Get it. Okay, well, thank you so much, Owen, for your time. We
Yeah,
appreciate
no,
it.
thank you for coming by.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be back here soon.